Good morning. Here we are again. Episode number 2. Hopefully people have watched the first one and kind of have some idea that who I am, what I'm doing, why I'm just rambling on about D&D as I drive places. I'm off to work this morning, and I thought today's topic might be the differences between the tabletop role-playing game and the desktop role-playing game. Now, what I mean by that is nothing to do with computer games or anything else like that. I'm still talking Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm talking about the differences between actually having 5 or 6 or 7 people sitting around in chairs in your living room, rolling dice on a table and passing books around, and having 5 or 6 or 7 people sat at their computers on some kind of online system like Roll20, which is the one that we personally use for our group. I'm not going to say it's the only one out there. I'm not even going to say it's the best one out there, but for our group, it does what we need it to do, and it basically means that I'm able to game with people from all over the world because I don't have a local gaming group. Now, for any of you who are not familiar with Roll20 or with online gaming in general, you log into a system. Usually there's webcam support if you like, there's voice support if you like. We found that the voice support on Roll20 is a little bit flaky from time to time, so we fixed that by just having a Skype chat. All of us log into Skype, all of us start a call, we can hear each other on there. The Roll20 cameras work fine. Not all of the players choose to use them, so that is something that you can take into account as well, is if you, for whatever reason, don't want to be seen by the rest of the group, you don't have to be. I personally like the players being able to see my expressions. I like being able to see my players' expressions. To me, that makes it feel a lot more like tabletop. Now, Roll20 gives you a lot of feature content. It allows you to have maps, character sheets, dice rolling. You can create NPCs, monsters. You can create note cards that you can pass out to either all of your players or to just specific players. To be honest, I actually find it a lot easier to use than tabletop. Whenever I used to DM for tabletop games, I used to have boxes of note cards filled with magic items and NPC sheets and everything under the sun you can think of to do with running the game. And passing those out to the players, having characters show up to a game and having forgotten their sheet, or having, left a note card or lost a note card. It used to be a nightmare. Whereas now, everything's in Roll20, everything's saved there. I can see everything they can see. They can't necessarily see everything I can see because, as I said, you can restrict content to only specific players or to the DM. The mapping system is brilliant. You can drop maps into the game. You have multiple layers to use so that you can hide things from the players. You can take notes on a layer of the map that, again, you can see but they can't. In a lot of ways, I just feel like Roll20 is extending the abilities that I have as a game master to actually focus on the story rather than focusing on paperwork. A lot of the roles, modifiers, all that kind of stuff are all worked out for you. You give somebody a +1 longsword, and they can literally, from the list of items on Roll20, drag and drop a +1 longsword onto their sheet, and then you say, roll to attack with your longsword. They click that button on the sheet, and Roll20 spits out the the attack roll using all of their modifiers, and the damage roll using, again, their modifiers. And it makes it a lot easier, I think. It's I don't want to say it's dumbing down the game, because the game shouldn't be about that anyway. The game was never meant to be about focusing on those numbers. My car's being annoying again. So yeah, I mean, if you're playing the kind of game where crunch is important, and you have a lot of players that really love kind of getting into the advanced mathematics of it, i.e. second edition, probably not going to be your favorite of things, because it handles a lot of that stuff for you. Whereas if you're playing something like 5th edition, where you really just want to jump into the story, into the game, and play along without having to focus on the numbers, you can really focus on the characters and the interactions. I highly recommend it, especially if you don't have a local group. I mean, I'm working 5, sometimes 6 days a week. I'm on call different hours. If I was having to then go out after work to meet up with people, or invite people over to my house, which then involves, you know, cleaning up after where they've left and everything else that entails, I would struggle. I really would, because I've got too much else on in my life. Whereas with Roll20, we have a start time. We usually have a finish time. Sometimes we follow it, not always. And, you know, there's no cleanup afterwards. Now, Roll20 does not have any of the books. That can be an issue. Doesn't have to be. You know, most players have the books, at least the ones that they need. Player's Handbook, maybe the Sword Coast Adventurer's Journal. Luckily, 5e is not really big on players having to have books. There's not just that many books that have player options in them that the players have to have. The DM needs to have most of them. And it's also worth pointing out with that if you want to, Roll20 has started basically selling modules based on the books. They've got a partnership with Wizards. You can walk on, you can go on to Roll20, you can purchase Storm King's Thunder, and you will get all of the maps, all of the creature tokens, all of the items, and all of the note cards involved in the storyline downloaded onto your system. So, as a DM, you can literally, if you want to, click a button and have a game ready to run. You don't have to do anything other than just read the note cards. I highly recommend against doing that. The best games always come from a DM and not from a book. Books are great sources for ideas, great sources to get information from, to build on, but if you've got players, at least one of them will have read the book, and it will spoil the adventure. If I'm one of your players, it's probably me, because I buy every book. I also DM. I read every book. It's just how it is. So, I mean, yeah, it's just, long story short, DMing on a desktop does not have to be any different than DMing on a tabletop. You can make it as different as you want. You can say, oh, well, it's not the same because people aren't really there. But really, it does not have to be any different. You can still have the same interactions with the players. You can still have the same experience, the same amazing games that you're used to. And added to that, like I said, I have players from 3, maybe 4 different continents in the game. So the cultural differences that you get from people, and the cultural exchange that happens both in and out of game from getting to know this group of people is amazing. Yeah, so I think I've said basically everything I need to say about that. I'm not quite to work this morning, but I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video a bit early. Click to like if you like it. Don't click it if you don't. I'll be posting more videos, hopefully daily. I mean, I drive to work every day, so as long as I can think of something to talk about, I will probably post another video. Until then, have a great day. Enjoy Dungeons and Dragons. Enjoy whatever game you're playing. Have fun. I'll put some links at the bottom for Roll20 in case anybody's interested in it. Bye.